everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Shauna and I don't even know how many weeks pregnant at this point. I'm a week away from my due date, so do the working out yourself. I'll put it on the title here. It's been a bit of a mad, tiring few days, I guess. I've finished work today, pretty much anyway. Everything else is online tomorrow, which is only like an hour, and laptop work today and tomorrow, and then it's just appointments for the hospital and stuff. So that's very exciting. Change is about to start happening. And I thought no better way to celebrate it than do a part 2 pregnancy Q&A, because I have promised I was going to do that, and I think it's been about 5 or 6 weeks since my part 1 pregnancy Q&A. So I'm going to try not to repeat questions because I don't remember what questions I actually answered, pregnancy brain. So I apologise if you've watched it and I do repeat, but I feel like I won't repeat. Anyway, let's get in with the video. I've had every intention in, the last few videos as well, saying, I've put my makeup on and I've made an effort. And the true matter of fact is, I can't be bothered. I do think it's going to come to a point where, as long as she doesn't come early, I do want to, make myself feel good one last time, have some pregnancy pictures, a little date day or date night with Tom and whatnot. I'm looking outside because there's a cat stretching on the fence, but Kobe's here. He's clueless, otherwise we'd hear him bark. But yes, I thought, why not actually do a bit of a pamper? So in terms of pamper, I don't mean your regular pamper. I mean plucking my eyebrows because they need to be plucked. And then if we have time after the questions, which in a way hopefully not, but also doing the face. If we don't get round to doing that me on camera because I've answered the questions, I only really want to do 5 questions because I can ramble. But yes, if we get past that, then let me know if you want a tutorial on how to do my face. But there's plenty online. I learnt from Carly Bible. You can go into shops and stuff as well. So we're gonna do my eyebrows and answer questions. So question number 1 is, I should have planned this. We're just going to get my makeup compact mirror. It doesn't matter which one, just a mirror for ease. But question number 1, which I'm sure I didn't answer because I didn't know the answer last time, is what's my birth plan? So of course, birth plans don't always go to plan, probably more likely not to go to plan than to go to plan. I always thought that I would have a epidural, which is still potentially going to be the case. However, the only thing that I was thinking with the epidural and what I said to my midwife was that, I can imagine myself, if I'm waiting around quite a while for the right amount of dilation and to actually do the pushing and whatnot, I'm probably going to want to stand up, walk around if I can, move around a little bit more, stretch, kind of do things like that. Whereas I'm guessing with the epidural, you can't really do that. You're kind of bed bound. So, I mean, she did say you can just delay the epidural until last minute, which again is a possibility. However, she did tell me about different kinds of pain relief and, deliveries and whatnot. So I was open-minded. I listened to them. Some I hadn't heard of, some I had. Some I kind of wanted to know more answers about, like gas in air. I was put off of gas in air, but now I'm actually going to be having it. So my birth plan at the minute, if it goes to plan, is I'm going to be having a water birth, which I never thought I would. But I'm a Pisces. I love a bath, as you may know. I love being in the water. I think it takes pressure off, especially in pregnancy. It just calms me, it regulates me, grounds me. So yes, we're going to try and have a water birth with gas and air. But I still wasn't 100% sure, and my midwife did say you can climb up the ladder, which a lot of people do. So there's one that begins with a D after that, which makes you a bit sleepy. So if you've got quite a while ahead of you, you can kind of, you can't have a water birth because you'll have to get out of the bath basically because or the pool should I say, because you'll be tired and obviously health and safety and all that. But if you need sleep to prepare your body for when the pushing happens, if you've got like 4 hours or whatnot, I think it wears off after about 4 hours, then you can do that. I'm still umming and ahhing about that one. I'm not really that bothered. I might miss that one if I needed to go to the next one. The next one's epidural, I believe. So I can't remember what she said about if you are in the pool. I don't remember if I have to get out of the pool. Potentially, which is probably why I've had that as the last option, as such, the last option in control anyway. So I think what I will do is try and just aim for a water birth with gas and air. That's kind of on the list at the minute. And then if I'm struggling with pain or whatnot, I will go to an epidural. I'll miss the one that begins with a D out. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen. And then if the epidural doesn't work for whatever reason, obviously the doctors or whatnot will ask for my consent and it'll be like a C-section kind of thing, in which, you know, some people naturally want a C-section. You know, I am reading things now where it's kind of like it's the easier option, but I want to try and see what my body can do, but also it's just the recovery process for after the C-section that puts me off it anyway. I know both, like there's pros and cons to both, but yes, I'm only really going to have a C-section if it is recommended and encouraged, which touch wood it isn't. I want it to be smooth sailing like this pregnancy has been, and I'm very lucky and grateful to say that. Second question that I'm getting asked quite a bit is how is Kobe? So Kobe is on, he's moved on that side of the sofa, he kind of blends in. Hello Kobe. Good boy. He probably has no clue, to be fair. He's very attached at times, but then recently, the past 2 or 3 days to a week, I think he's been more attached to Tom, which people say is a good thing because when baby's here, he's not going to get too jealous about me picking her up or anything like that. But yeah, he's not really, other than being a bit attached at times, he's not really changed. It's like he doesn't know, and he probably doesn't. But what I'm going to do, and you'll see in the next video, as long as we make it that far, but I am basically planning on, for the first week that baby is home, just for my guilt, I'm going to have a present for Kobe each day. So I've already bought a few today, which are just like treats. I'm not spending a lot, but they're just like treats so that he can open them up like Christmas Day. His tail can wag, it can make me feel happy. And he's got something to kind of keep him occupied for a little bit, but also just to feel included and special and whatnot, because it's a change for him as well. I think people forget that, you know, your dog or your cat or whatever pet you have in your house is a part of your family. And although you're going through a big change and, you know, baby comes first because they're more unable to do things, whereas dogs can kind of let you know things and do things to a certain extent, I guess. You know, it breaks my heart to see that some dogs do get pushed to the side, a bit like Lady and the Tramp. So I don't want Kobe to feel like that. So I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure he feels as included, like the big brother he is. And yeah, it'll be something to adapt to. But I think these presents, just for 7 days, is something that he can look forward to. He can still feel thought about, and you know, it will still encourage me or slash and Tom to, you know, if he's got a new toy, we're more likely to play with him even more with that new toy. I'm also grateful that, you know, weather is looking up, it's getting quite nice, and it's only going to get better from here, fingers crossed, so we can go on better walks with Kobe and the baby and as a family. But yes, that was a long-winded answer to the question, but I felt like I needed to get that off my chest, to be honest. So yes, Kobe is fine. I don't think he actually really realizes what's going on. Sometimes I think that he knows something's different about me, but doesn't, of course, know that there's a baby inside. But he, yeah, can be attached at times. But again, I think that's a natural thing for him to be like. It's like if I've been out of the house all day, but then if I've been in the house for a lot of the day, he's probably more Tom because he wants to play more and like be a bit boisterous, whereas he can't really do that with me. And I'm more of a nurturing side for him anyway, even without being pregnant. Another question is, what will I miss about pregnancy? So this is kind of like a no-brainer. This is kind of a no-brainer, but well, for me, I will miss feeling her kick about and kind of think, okay, what are you doing now? What's made you do that? If I've not eaten, if I've just been sat there or something, she's randomly kicking or whatnot. If someone's talking, I'll kind of be like, oh, that's because you've heard blah blah's voice and you get familiar with that, or but sometimes I kind of think, oh, what's that that's just kicked me or just prodded me or just pushed, especially when I'm in the bath. So maybe she's going to be a water baby too. But yes, I think the most that I'm going to really miss is just feeling her move about. And sometimes we play a little game, more so in my second trimester, where I was still getting used to feeling her kick and move. Was like I'd do that to my belly, or put a bit of pressure on my belly, like, or even taps, and she'd kind of do it back, and it's almost like we're at a window and one's knocking and one's not. I think it's a nice thing to experience, and it's going to be very strange after not 9 months because you don't feel the baby at first, but it's going to be a very weird feeling after at least 3, 4, 5 months of just like there being nothing there. Yeah. Now, on the back of that question, I feel like it's only right to answer the question of what are you looking forward to after pregnancy. And there's a lot more that I'm looking forward to, I can't lie. Like I say, I'm grateful I've had the smoothest pregnancy. Sometimes I feel guilty to say that. Sometimes I feel proud. I do put it down to exercise, looking after myself for many years beforehand, listening to my body, being grounded, intuitive kind of thing, knowing my limits, but also starting to implement that before even being pregnant. So I'm grateful, but I am proud. And sometimes, yes, I feel a little bit guilty that I can say that, just being honest. But I am most looking forward to, get ready for the list and the word vomit, but I'm looking forward to the healing journey. So, doing a lot more exercises to heal my core and my pelvic floor muscles, and really put my Pilates and pre and postnatal qualifications into to test. And that's for me, not for a client, because I've done this work, of course, with clients, and everyone's different. So some have a smoother healing process, some don't, and I don't know what mine will be. Maybe I've had a smooth pregnancy, but my healing journey might take a little bit longer than expected, or it might be another smooth sailing journey that I'm lucky to be able to say. And either way, I'm excited for that challenge and that focus to be on me and my healing journey and how I'm feeling internally as well as externally. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to not having to always wear and look for maternity clothes, because I haven't bought a lot, because I'm hoping that sometimes people don't even know that I'm pregnant at times still, especially from the back. So I didn't want to buy loads of maternity outfits if I am going to drop a size. I've probably upped 2 sizes around like the middle area at least. Even my hips, which I know your hips don't really go back, But yeah, I'm looking forward to wearing non-maternity clothes, let's say that. Whereas when I first found out that I was pregnant, I was excited to explore all of that, but it's all expensive. I feel like the comfiest maternity clothes that I have are leggings anyway, which I would wear if I didn't have a bump or anything. It's just I've had to get maternity ones now because of the restriction and feeling comfortable and whatnot. So because I guess the dress sense isn't that different, other than if I'm going out, for example, which I don't do a lot, then yeah, I just feel like I'm spending extra money on these clothes just because I'm bigger and I have a bump and I have to support that bump. So I am looking forward to wearing my own clothes, maybe even like refinding my fashion. I was already like craving doing that before being pregnant. I just didn't have the money. And I probably still won't have the money, but I'm going to sell loads of things on Vinted. And with that money, I'm going to basically buy not a whole new wardrobe because I probably won't be able to afford a whole new wardrobe. And some clothes I still do like that I wore anyway. It's just how long it might take for me to fit into them. But we'll do videos and stuff on that anyway. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already and you're interested in that kind of stuff, because I know that I am. Whether someone's gone through pregnancy or just a wardrobe transformation or anything. I quite like them and the decluttering sort of videos. But yeah, that's what I'm excited for, really, for after pregnancy. Um, I'm excited to be able to push myself after the healing process in terms of training and doing more things for me, because call me naive and I might eat my words here, but I put so many people first at the minute and I have so much that I have to do for work. And I've had a lot of fitness classes as well that I carry and fitness clients that I carry, which I will be getting back into. But it will be nice to just kind of have fitness just for me. Like, if I want to follow a program for me, it's just that I'm not having to work around classes that I'm doing as well. So, think about how that's changing my fitness. And like what I need more of, maybe it'll change all of the time. Maybe at sometimes it'll need to be, actually, I'm going to do a yoga session because I'm feeling quite anxious or tired, or, I want to get back into gymnastics as well at one point. It might take me a year, might take me two, but, I'm just excited to have time, especially on maternity, to focus on not necessarily my fitness goals, just my healing process, and then just pushing my body in different ways. But that could also look like, pushing myself but preventing burnout, because I used to hit burnout quite a lot. So I'm excited to just learn more about my sort of newish body, I guess, and also help people along the way on my platforms, with their fitness and health journeys. This is going to be the last one because I believe that is 5. So I should have probably done this as the third to last question, because I feel like it runs off of after the first question, because I feel like it runs off of that topic. But I'm just thinking of these off of the top of my head questions. But am I scared for labour? And it's a difficult one, because thinking about it now, yes, I am, because it's the fear of the unknown. But I thought I'd be a lot more scared before being pregnant. I kind of remember being a bit like, oh, you've got 9 months, you'd have 9 months and you'd be able to prepare yourself in the best way possible. But I haven't really done any preparation. I know breathing techniques for anxiety and stuff like that with work, so I'll probably use some of that, but I've not actually taken the time to do hypnobirthing sessions and lessons and whatnot like some people do. And I've only done what, again, I've been intuitive, but in terms of, actually thinking, oh my God, I need to ring the hospital because I think I've got contractions or whatever. That's the thought of is scary, especially at night time. I worry more about going into labour at night time. and I don't really know why. I guess it's because I'm more relaxed. I like to wind down quite early. Um, and I don't know. I guess I always envisioned like going into labour in the middle of the night for some strange reason. Probably because I like sleep, so I'd rather it be midday. You know, when I've got energy behind me, I've had a substantial amount of food. Um, but you know, again, I think it comes down to the being out of control and not like it's a fear of the unknown. Like you don't even necessarily know who's going to be in the room in terms of like your doctor or midwife or whatnot. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. But yeah, it's difficult because ask me that now. Well, ask me that tomorrow, and I'll probably say no, I'm not nervous. However, tomorrow it will be a week until the due date. I'm more nervous about actually like the sweep and if I have to be induced. I would prefer it to just happen, but yeah, I don't know whether that's going to be the case really. But again, it's just because it's unfamiliar grounds, out of my control. Technically, in a way, probably shouldn't think of it like this, but out of everyone's control, including the professionals. Like you just don't know what's going to happen, do you? But I'm not as nervous as I thought I would be, and I think I'm kind of at that stage as I've got to go through with it now anyway, regardless. So if I'm in pain, I'm in pain, or if I'm tired, I'm tired, and you know, I can only do what I can only do. But at the same time, if I'd have had, or if I'd have been pregnant and gone through labour a few years ago, I probably would be less okay, less grounded because I wouldn't have the experience that I have with being grounded and staying regulated. Now, does that mean that I might still end up panicking at a time? Yes, I probably will. But I know how to calm myself down, get grounded. That's one reason I chose the birthing pool because, again, naturally grounded. I've got my speaker charged and whatnot. So Tom can play music if he wants to, and you know, that music in itself calms me down. I think there's pretty lights all around in the birthing room, so again, that calms me down. So we're already putting things into place. Whereas beforehand, I would have just said, "You're the professionals. You decide." You know what I mean? Yeah, I guess I'm as prepared as naturally possible, but I've not gone out of my way to fully prepare in terms of hypnobirthing sessions or anything like that. And yeah, what will be, I guess. I will come on YouTube at some point after I've taken some time off just to talk about the birth, if I remember it, that is. And yeah, I think I've got one more video until, even if she's late, I'm just going to do one more YouTube video for Sunday, so in a few days' time. And it's more going to be just like bits of nesting, last few bits, last week before baby's here or before my due date. If baby is late, I'm probably going to be posting just more on TikTok and stuff. But yeah, after Sunday, I am going to be stopping YouTube for a little bit, but still subscribe because I will be coming back. And also just make sure that you subscribe or you follow my TikTok because, yeah, like I say, if she's late or anything or whatnot, I probably will do like daily vlogs on there. Because I just think it's less pressure because you can literally just do a 15-second one if you really want to. So yeah, and I just want to rest and spend time with my family as a family is three before it becomes family of four, but also like everything else as well. So yes, I feel like I have loads of questions in my head now that I want to answer, but I only wanted to do 5. I'm setting the boundary, I'm sticking to it. Maybe we could do another Q&A when I come back, or maybe I'll do another one on TikTok, but it feels a bit silly doing it on TikTok because I probably will repeat myself. Anyway, I will see you on Sunday for our last video. Bye.